Hi dear students, the last class we discussed about a constructor. Okay, you know about constructor. What is constructor? Constructor used for what purpose? Constructor means it is used for what purpose? It is a special member function used for to initialize the data members. To initialize the data members, we have to use the constructors. Okay, see, always in a private section, if you initialization ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ you are getting errors. Okay, for example, in a private section int a equal to 10 ಬರೆದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you are getting errors. Okay, to avoid this drawback we have to use a constructor. Okay, constructor means as like you are writing like this as usual like a member function. Okay, member function hange ಬರೀತಾರೆ, but ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, you have to initialize the data members. Okay, for example, I'll just give one small example. See, for example, I am taking one class. Okay, I am taking class example. Class name is example. Okay, I am taking one class name example, otherwise you can take Bapuji, your name also you can take it. See, then I am taking private here, in private section. Okay, what you want to initialize? You want to declare these are what are the data members. Okay, if in a program if you initialize the value here, for example b equal to 10, like then you are getting errors. Okay, definitely you are getting errors. Okay, to avoid this error, to avoid this drawback, okay, you have to use a constructor le hogi ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, just you have to create one constructor, then one constructor create ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, create ಮಾಡಿ then you have to initialize, in that you have to initialize it. Okay, initialization ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. See, how to write a constructor? Always constructor always write in a public section ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, not in private section. Always constructor write in public section. Then class name and constructor name always same ಇರುತ್ತೆ. See, class name ಏನಿದೆ, see example ಅದೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. constructor name also example ಇರಬೇಕು. See, for example I am writing example. This is what is the constructor name. Okay, this is constructor name. In this you have to initialize the a and b value. You have to initialize a and b value. Got it? Then see, I am taking another one member function, but here I am not taking void. Why means characteristics of constructor. Characteristics of constructor does not have return type. Does not have a return type means data type iralla constructor ge. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then I am writing here for displaying purpose I am writing void display. Then close the class. Okay, see here, this is nothing but what are the characteristics of constructor. Always is used for what purpose? To initialize the data members. Always the class name and constructor name always same. Idu class name adru munde bracket bantandre, that is nothing but a constructor. Always you have to remember constructor name and class name always same. Yak use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಇದನ್ನ? To initialize the data members. A b value na idರಲ್ಲಿ initialize ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Got it? It's very easy concept. Okay, you have to remember it. Then why display? Why you have to? This is a member function. What we have to do for displaying purpose? You have to use this. Okay, I am using two member function here. Two member functions na use ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. Got it? Okay, this is you have to remember. Okay, then see here, this is next. The characteristics of constructor, then the syntax of a constructor. Okay, then the types of, then today class we have to discuss about the types of constructors. See, types of constructor, there are three types of constructor you have. One is a default constructor, parameterized, then a copy constructor. In examination already asked in the exam, first one is a default constructor, then a parameterized constructor, then a copy constructor. Idunu 2 marks question ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. Mention the types of constructors. Okay, first one you have to study today. You want to study about the default constructor. Default constructor means what? See, default constructor means here default constructor means, okay, see, the constructor which does not have any arguments. Okay, the constructor which does not have any arguments. This type of constructor is called default constructor antare. The constructor does not have any arguments. Arguments means nothing but parameters. Parameters irbardu. Okay, this type of that type of constructor is called a default constructor. Then what is parameterized constructor? Parameterized constructor means the constructor which has a parameters, two or more parameters or two or more arguments. Okay, arguments. Okay, arguments ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ ನಾವು? See, you have to write here in this. Okay, in constructor, if the constructor if does not have any arguments, okay, arguments illappa andre that is nothing but a default constructor. If you write example int a comma int b, if you write like this is called a parameterized constructor which has a two or more arguments. That is called what? That is a parameterized constructor. Okay, today you want to discuss about the default constructor. See, what is default constructor? Default constructor nothing but it is a constructor which has a does not have any arguments. This that type of constructor is called a default constructor. It is also called zero constructor antare because it does not have any arguments. Okay, arguments, how to write arguments? These are nothing but arguments. Okay, in constructor if you write arguments means that is parameterized constructor. If you does not write any arguments means that is a default constructor. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then it is also called zero constructor nu antare idakke. Okay, last year in examination 1 marks question kelidane, which is the zero constructor. Default constructor is also called zero constructor. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then what are the features? What are the features of a default constructor? Idunu 2 marks but 3 marks question kelidane. Write 3 features of a default constructor. See, default constructor nothing but which first it does not have no argument, does not have any arguments. Okay, does not have any arguments, that is the one first feature. Then you can write default constructor inside the class also, outside the class also. Okay, ನೀವು inside the class ಬರಿಬಹುದು, then outside the class ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ must and should you can use a scope resolution operator. Okay, if you want to write outside the class means you have to use scope resolution operator. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then it performs default initialization. Default initialization means what? Default initialization means if you given two values means every time if you run this program you are getting same value. Okay, if you use different objects but you are getting same value, default values. Okay, when you by using a default constructor if you write a program means, okay, you are getting a same output. Okay, every time you are getting the same output. Why means later you can discuss about this. Okay, it performs default initialization. Default initialization means it cannot be possible to write different values by using different objects. You cannot display different values with the different objects. Okay, that is called a default initialization antare idakke. Okay, these are the three features of okay, it is also called advantages also, three features of default constructor. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then what is the syntax? Idunu kelidane 2 marks ge. Write a syntax of default constructor. Write a syntax of default constructor. Always a class name, then scope resolution operator. This is nothing but default constructor. Because why it is called default constructor? Does not have any arguments. Okay, does not have any arguments. Okay, this is what this is about a syntax of a default constructor. Okay, then I am writing one program, then you can understand about a default constructor. See, I am writing here class example hash include iostream dot h and conio dot h. Here I am taking the example is a class name. I am taking two data members. A and B are the two data members. I want to display A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Output time ಬರಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ A equal to 10 and B equal to 20 ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. See how to write this program by using a constructor. By using constructor, default constructor. How to use? You have to use one default constructor. Okay, here I am writing these are the data members. This is a default constructor. Default, why it is default constructor means, see here you don't have any arguments. Okay, in this example, see always constructor name and class name always same. Okay, see here it does not have any argument, that's why it is a default constructor. It is a default constructor. Then I am taking here normal member function void display. Okay, now how to write outside the class? How to write the constructor outside the class? By using scope resolution operator. How to write? See, does not have any here, does not have any return type. Class name, take class name example. Scope resolution operator, then example. Then what is the use of constructor? You know, to initialize the data members. Data members have only A and B are the data member. You have to initialize it. A equal to 10, B equal to 20. This is initialization. What purpose you have to use? Because if you initialize here means you are getting errors. Okay, that's why you have to take one constructor, default constructor, then you have to initialize it. I am writing constructor outside the class only by using scope resolution operator. Okay, then you have to next take a void example display. You have to display these cout A, then B. Okay, you have to display this output. Okay, then take void main. Here how to create object, you know already how to create object by using class name. Class name you have the example is the class name. I am taking here E is a object. Then how to accessing by using dot operator. But you know characteristics of constructor, cannot accessing in constructor by using dot operator. The constructors are always executed automatically. These are executed. Don't call by using a object and a dot operator. Okay, so leave this example. Okay, see I am taking E1 comma E. I am taking two objects. You can take three objects also. Okay, see here I am writing E1 dot display, then E2 dot display, then get ch, close the bracket. Then what is the answer you are getting? Okay, if you run this program, you are getting first E1 dot display, just it goes to display. Then what are the values you have? 10, 20 will be display. Okay, then E2, when you go E2 dot display, it goes to display. Then again you are getting 10 and 20. Okay, by using different objects, you cannot get different values. By using different object, you are getting same values. Okay, that's why it is called it performs default initialization. Always when you run this program, always you are getting same values 10 and 20. Okay, 10 and 20 by using different objects also. You are getting same values. That's why it performs a default initialization. This is what this is about a default constructor. See, default constructor only, this is nothing but default constructor. Does not have any arguments. Okay, see, you have to constructor is used for what purpose? To initialize the data members. Okay, data member. Okay, here you don't write even dot example. Don't write. Why means you know the characteristics of constructor always either constructor are executed automatically, cannot call by using a object and a dot operator. Got it? Okay, this is a compiler can understand very easily about constructor. If you use in program or if you use constructor in program, the compiler can very easily it can understand. Got it? Okay, this is what this is about a small example in examination. Last year created 5 marks ಗೆ explain default constructor with its syntax and example. Okay, with its syntax and example you have to write a definition, then a syntax, then you have to write this small example. Okay, this is what this is about a default constructor. Okay, default constructor, normal constructor, same, both are same. Okay, this is you have to remember. Then what are the disadvantages? Okay, what are the disadvantages you have? What are the disadvantages? See, the first disadvantage of this default constructor is you cannot overload it, the default constructor. You know, overloaded function overloading means always you have a same function name but different arguments, different arguments really arguments say illa. Okay, that's why you cannot overload the default constructor. Okay, that is one disadvantage here. Okay, you cannot be overloaded the default constructors. Then the second disadvantage is, okay, see, by using different objects also, okay, by using different objects also, but you are getting the same values ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ I am taking E3, here I am taking E3 also, here I am given a E3 dot display, E3 dot display also. You are getting 3 times also, you are getting a 1020 1020 and 1020 values. But by using 3 objects also you are getting always you are getting same values, default values. Okay, that is also one of the disadvantage. That is also one of the disadvantage of a default constructor. Okay, this is what is about 2 disadvantages. Okay, last year idunu kelidane, write one disadvantage of default constructor. Okay, default constructor cannot be overloaded. Okay, this is what this is about the disadvantages of a default constructor. Okay, this is you have to remember. Okay, very easy topic ide, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ. Okay, thank you for watching this.